The eyes of the globe are on Qatar, the smallest ever nation to host a World Cup. 8 state-of-the-art stadiums ready to host the biggest matches. The draw has been made, but how will the teams get on? Hello there and welcome to Football Now from Doha. The countdown to Qatar continues. Throughout April and May we'll be looking ahead to each and every World Cup group. Last week we previewed the hosts Qatar in Group A. This time it's the turn of one of the competition's favourites, England, in Group B. But before we do that, here's a reminder of the group stages in full. Ecuador, Senegal and the Netherlands will join Qatar in Group A, whilst the aforementioned England will be confident of progression, having drawn Iran and the United States. Lionel Messi's Argentina have Saudi Arabia, Mexico and Poland to contend with, and Group D awaits one of Peru, Australia or the United Arab Emirates. Spain, Germany and Japan will be joined by Costa Rica or New Zealand. Canada's first World Cup in 36 years hasn't provided them with an easy task in Group F. Brazil's Samba Stars take on Serbia, Switzerland and Cameroon, whilst Cristiano Ronaldo and Luis Suarez will go head-to-head in Group H. So that's the World Cup draw in full then, and it looks like one of the most compelling could be Group B. England may well face Scotland or Wales, local rivals to them. If it's not one of those sides, it'll be Ukraine. And having spent 5 years in England with Chelsea, Frank Leboeuf knows all about English football. Here's his thoughts on the group.
I saw the USA playing. They're very good team playing at home, but away from home, it was kind of a disaster for them for the qualifications. And it's a very young group. So when you have a group with Iran, Wales, of Scotland, and the USA, well, you're the biggest nation of football in that group, and you should easily qualify. I'm expecting an England against France in a quarterfinal. Let's see. They have to be considered as a threat for France, Argentina and Brazil, because England has all the talent to win a World Cup.
Well, from one former Chelsea man to a current one now, Christian Pulisic is the USA's very own Captain America. The forward has scored 21 times in 48 appearances, including a recent hat-trick against Panama.
Well, Captain America, they call him, will have to have big shoulders, to make sure that he's going to lead the group and work with his teammates to make sure they can go far. He does very well with the national team. He scored beautiful goals lately with them, and he can be very useful with Chelsea. And Christian Pulisic, as a Captain of America, leader of that squad, needs to impose himself in order to have more influence into that squad. That's the time. There is a World Cup for that. He has to go to another level. I wish him the best.
Now, Leon Osman made his England debut back in 2012. Another player who made his first start for the Three Lions that night was Raheem Sterling. And Osman says he knew from the beginning that he was playing alongside a special talent.
He was, I think, 17 at the time. He was really young, and yet he was absolutely outstanding. His qualities, you could see, he was a little bit raw. There was a few things he needed to define and fine-tune, but you could tell he was a real talent, and no surprise to see him get his debut there. No surprise to see him go on to do what he's done and what he's achieved, and I don't think he's finished. I hope, for the sake of his country, England, I hope that he can step that up and achieve even more in the upcoming World Cup.
On to the third team in the group now, Iran. Dragan Skocic's side have qualified for their third World Cup tournament in a row. The Iranians are ranked 21st in the FIFA World Rankings and set to make their 7th appearance in sport's biggest event. So can they make their mark in this year's World Cup?
They showed that they have the quality, and the talent up front is what's making the difference for them. And we are speaking obviously about Sardar Azmoun of Bayer Leverkusen, Mehdi Taremi of Porto, 2 prominent names in this squad. And despite drawing England, Iran has a pretty good chance to fight for a second place in Group B. With the USA, difficulties and obstacles are part of the journey, always. Sanctions and politics getting involved. So expect them not to never give up on the chance, making history for the people, for sure.
Well, 8 stadiums will host matches at this year's FIFA World Cup here in Qatar, with a capacity ranging between 40 to 80,000. Here's a look at some of the venues in Group B. 4 stadiums will host games, including the Khalifa International, where England will face Iran. Ahmed bin Ali, home to local side Al Rayyan, will feature 3 games from the group. USA fans will head to the 40,000-seater Al Tumama for a match, and the traditional tent-like Al Bayt Stadium is also part of the schedule.
I never doubt that it could be one of the best World Cup we ever see because it's nearby. Everywhere is nearby. All the fans were going to be there. The players don't have to move too much. It's going to be crazy. I think it's going. You will double the population for months because of a World Cup. I wish the best to Qatar because I know they're capable of doing great. They're going to fight for their country. I'm talking about the players, and I'm very proud of Qatar. I've been there. I played there. I lived there 2 years. I really enjoy my time. People are very nice, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic World Cup.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's show from Qatar. Plenty more World Cup content coming your way over the next few months or so. Do let us know who you think will win Group B using the hashtag FootballNowQatar, and we'll see you soon for more Football Now.